What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Seahawks Now, your home for all things daily Seahawks news, updates, rumors, everything Seahawks. You want it right here. You got it. This is Seahawks Now. Today we're talking about the Seahawks ceiling, 11-6 according to ESPN, and the floor 6-11. My thoughts on that seems like a pretty safe bet if you ask me. Plus an update on the Trey Hendrickson situation. All that and more right here today on Seahawks Now. But first, if you like what you see, hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. What do you think the Seahawks floor and ceiling are in 2025? Because I disagree. I disagree with these. I think ESPN played it way too safe. They basically went through and they gave every team a floor and ceiling. And I think this is not just true with the Seahawks. I think they played it way too safe with everybody. I mean, they went through win-loss records. For example, if you look at the rest of the NFC West, Seattle, floor 6-11, ceiling 11-6. The Niners, they gave a floor 7-10, ceiling 12-5. Again, that feels way too safe for the Niners. I feel like they could easily lose more than 10 games. They lost 11 last year. The Rams, same thing, ceiling 12-5, floor 7-10. And the Cardinals are the same as us, floor 6-11, ceiling 11-6. It just feels very safe. It feels like they're not willing to go on a limb and actually predict, oh yeah, this team can actually win a lot of games. Like Tampa Bay ceiling 12, New Orleans ceiling 9, 10, 11, 11, 12. Nobody's getting predicted to win more than 12 games except for Philadelphia with 13 and like the Chiefs with 13 and the Bills with 13 and the Ravens. So a few teams, but pretty much everybody else is like, yeah, 11 or 12 wins is the ceiling, 6 or 7 wins is the floor. It's very safe. I think the floor and ceiling, I mean, look, if you want to talk what's the ceiling on this Seattle Seahawks team? I keep going back to this, but like Sam Darnold won 14 games last year. 14! And according to this ESPN article, not a single team in the league has a ceiling of 14 wins. I mean, that's insane. The Lions won 15 last year, and this year their ceiling is 12? Why? They got 3 wins. They got that much worse? I mean, that's 3 wins. The Vikings won 14 games last year, and now their ceiling's 11? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me at all, actually. But whatever. That's fine. Seahawks 11-6, yeah, I think our ceiling is more. I think if everything goes right, like we talked about yesterday on the show, if everything goes right for this team, I think the ceiling is 12 or 13 wins. Because Sam Darnold won 14 last year. He proved that he's possible of doing it. By the way, we won 10 games last year. If we've gotten significantly better, then the ceiling should be at least be 12. We should at least be able, if we've improved, which again, I'm not saying that we have definitively. I think we will know after a month if this is truly a better football team than the one we watched last year. But if this is a truly improved, better football team, the ceiling should not only be one more win than we got last year. That doesn't make any sense. Well, they were in 10 games last year. They got better, so their ceiling's 11? No. You should shoot for 11. Your ceiling is the highest possible. What's the highest possible win total we can get? I think you're looking at probably 12 or 13. I think 13 would be our true ceiling. Like, is there a scenario where we win 13 games? Yes. And don't tell me you don't see it, because it's true. And looking at the floor, same thing. Like, the floor, 6-11, really? That feels really safe. Like, I'm a Seahawks fan, but I'll admit it. Things could go drastically wrong for this team, especially if Sam Darnold struggles, especially if guys start to get hurt, if guys start to get banged up. Sam Darnold with the Jets, 4 wins, 7 wins, 2 wins, 4 wins. That was last year in Carolina, excuse me. He was averaging, in his first 4 seasons in the league, his 17-game average was 6-11. Average. And he had it one season in particular, the 2020 season, when he went 2-10, where he was way below that. So what's the floor for Sam Darnold and the Seahawks? The floor is probably 4-13, honestly. Because if Sam Darnold turns into a pumpkin and if guys start to get hurt, the wins are not going to be easy to get. Like, you're not just going to start winning games if Sam Darnold's not playing well and if guys are banged up. So I know, so maybe there might be a little more accurate towards what we end up finishing at. They're trying to, 6-11, 11-6. I'm going to give you an even larger range. I think the ceiling is 13-4, and I think the floor is 4-13. Truthfully. Because I think that I think it all depends on what version of Sam Darnold are we going to get. If we get 2024 Sam Darnold, this is a 12 or 13 win team. If we get 2020 Sam Darnold, then yeah, this is a 4-13 team. And if we get somewhere in the middle, if we get some version of Sam Darnold in between, that's where you might see a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or a 9 or a 10 or even an 11 win team. But I think it all depends on what version of him we get. And since we don't know what version of him we're going to get, I think you have to understand, this is a large range. There's a massive range of what he could do for you. Anyways, moving on. Trey Hendrickson, what's the update? It's a bad one. Seahawks, not the front runner in the Trey Hendrickson sweepstakes. That is the latest on the Trey Hendrickson situation. What we have found, what we are hearing, essentially, it's actually not that much. But what we have heard is that the Raiders are being called the front runners. That's interesting because they already have Max Crosby. This is what one source says, quote, "I have no doubt the Raiders are the front runners. Tom Brady and Mark Davis want to win now. John Spietic has no fear when it comes to making bold moves. Hendrickson, the move is the mentality of Pete Carroll. He's not afraid of anything that can improve the team." Yeah, that's probably true. Again, they already have Max Crosby. That'd be a lot of money to pay for 2 elite pass rushers. Do they need another elite pass rusher? Probably not. The Patriots reportedly think the cost is too much. The Bengals asking price possibly is dropping, according to Pro Football Rumors. We'll see if it actually does drop. Cleveland, we hear, is not pursuing him. They already have Myles Garrett. That makes sense. Apparently, according to Tom Pelissero, the price has softened. They're asking for a draft pick and a young impact player. So, for the Seahawks, that could be, I don't know, Boye Mafe and a first-round pick, or Boye Mafe and a second-round pick. NBC Sports reporting that trade talks haven't gotten close yet. That doesn't mean they're not going to trade him, but they are listening to offers. There's been no progress. Nothing is really getting close. The question is whether he will say no to the team's best offer before week 1 and what the Bengals may do if he refuses to honor the terms of his deal. Now, he's at practice. He's ended his holdout, but he is still not decided if he's actually going to play in week 1. If he doesn't play in week 1, who knows? Are they going to trade him? I don't know. Are they willing to keep him on the bench? Are they willing to keep a holding out player? I don't know. We'll have to see, because they do owe him a lot of money. Again, you guys know how I feel about this. I want the Seahawks to trade for Trey Hendrickson, so it's disappointing for me to hear that all the teams, we are starting to figure out who is in and who is out. We're hearing the Raiders are in. We're hearing the Eagles might be in. We're hearing that the Patriots are out. We are hearing that the Browns are out. We haven't heard anything about the Seahawks. We really haven't heard anything about the Seahawks. So I don't know. I don't know what that means for us. I don't know what that means. It probably means we're not going to trade for him. But again, I really, really am going to keep pushing on this for the Seahawks because I want them to trade for him really badly. I think he helps the team a lot. I think he would help the team a lot this year, but also in future years. So yeah, I'm still all in on the Trey Hendrickson stuff, but we'll see if the team is. With that all being said, guys, that's enough for today. Leave a like, leave a comment down below. Do you think the Seahawks have a higher ceiling or a lower floor than ESPN? I want to hear your guys' thoughts as always. So let me know down in the comments. And until next time, as always, go Seahawks.